Factor follow-up segment tonight, the racial division in America. We all know the problem. Blacks, whites, Hispanics all see society differently. In Oakland, where there have been many anti-police demonstrations, young girls have now been enlisted in that cause.
On a Saturday afternoon in Oakland, a handful of 8 to 10-year-old girls are gathered in brown uniforms, giggling and eating cupcakes. They look like Girl Scouts, but it's not just fun and games. Take a listen.
White policemen are killing black young folks, such as women, men, and children. Like Brown, he was shot because he didn't do nothing. Only the police officers shot him just because of his skin color.
These girls are called the Radical Brownies, and instead of learning sewing, they're learning social justice. Even their uniforms have a message.
The beret, it's a Black Panther brown beret twist.
I think it's very appropriate. A lot of the work the Black Panthers did was community-oriented.
With us now to react, Metta World Peace, former NBA basketball player who had a hard Scrabble upbringing in Queens, New York. He is the author of the new book, Metta, Let's Meet the Police.
Yes.
So just out 2 weeks ago. Now, I know you pay attention to this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, when I saw these 10-year-old girls, I don't think they should be doing that.
Well, I 100% understand. I'm about 60% against it, about 40% for the effort. I think the effort is good. Speaking out, speaking your mind, and being getting involved in politics.
But they can't possibly understand the nuances of the story.
Absolutely. I think with the Black Panther Party, I kind of overheard that, and I think it started out promoting, community, and then it went wrong somewhere.
Right. It got a little detoured.
And then, yeah.
How you have 4 children, right?
Right, 4 kids.
Now, they must be paying attention to all this racial business.
Absolutely.
What do you tell them?
Well, I make sure my kids understand people, understand that if somebody's racist, it came from somewhere. They wasn't born racist. If somebody's a gang member, they weren't born a gang member. So I want to make sure my children understand the environment that they live in.
Okay, so do you tell them, as the mayor of New York City did, to watch out for the police?
No, I just tell them not all police are bad. I grew up in an environment where police were around a lot, and I experienced some profiling. I experienced good police. I remember growing up playing basketball, police actually took off their guns, put it on the ground, and play basketball with us.
Right, in Queens.
In Queens, which was like, you never do that, right? So I experienced both sides, and I understand, what everybody's going through right now.
Now, when you wrote this, Meet the Police,
right,
what's the message of this book?
The message is you don't want to start racial wars or things like that. You want to have solutions. You want to, have prevention tactics and things like that. And you also want to address issues. You don't want to just push it under the rug. You have to address these issues.
It's written for children.
It's written for children, absolutely. Because you don't want children to grow up hating police, hating another race, hating somebody, blacks hating whites hating blacks. That's why my book is very diverse.
Okay. When you hear someone, look, the Ferguson, Missouri thing, it was established beyond any reasonable doubt,
right,
that the initial reporting, hands up,
right,
didn't happen.
Right.
Okay. Do you feel it's necessary to correct the record to people who believe it did happen?
I do believe that, and I also believe that the blacks make up 70% of Ferguson, and we're only in 5% in law enforcement, and nobody's involved in politics, and if you want to really change your community, you have to get involved in politics, you have to get involved in the school system, you have to try to change the curriculums.
Because blacks are a majority in that town. If they wanted, they could have a black mayor, or they could organize and have more power.
Organize in a more,
Right. Now, I've known you for a while, because I'm an NBA fan.
Absolutely. I see you all the time.
And your name used to be Ron Artest.
Used to be.
Why is it now Metta World Peace?
Well, I feel I continue to evolve. I continue to connect to people, to the earth, to different things.
Earth.
Everything.
Okay.
I'm just evolving as a person. And, I wanted my name to evolve. And every day, every month, I continue to evolve more and more. So
okay, so you wanted kind of a new age name, Metta World Peace.
I just feel like changing it.
What do they call you, Metta?
People call me Metta. In China, they call me Panda.
Mr. Peace, yeah. This year you played basketball in China.
Yeah.
That must have been a trip,
It was great.
Oh, yeah?
It was great. I enjoyed it so much.
Is there any racism in the Chinese society?
I believe there's racism everywhere. I experienced racism in the Chinese society in New York City when I used to grow up, and people just automatically judged me and assumed that I wanted to maybe steal something or things like that.
Right.
But you know what? As I get older, I don't judge. I try to come up and with prevention solutions.
And that's the good thing about you. I mean, and you guys who don't follow the NBA, he's one of the toughest guys, tough players. But then you go, Metta World Peace beat me up.
Well, you know, I'm very rough on the court.
Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
When we come right back.